By the thoughts we hold and the words we speak, we now call in divine, beloved creator of all that is, all the divine ascended masters, wisdom keepers, guides, and guardians, all beings of light and love. Herein summoned, we give thanks for the all encompassing presence and ensuing peacefulness we feel here now. We assembled are calling you in for the purpose of guiding us and assisting us to restore and renew that which was promised to us and taken from humanity so very long ago. That we are here to care for this earthly realm of your dominion and to love and care for one another. We who are gathered here have answered the sacred call of service to others, and we take it seriously and with deep commitment, which we hold as our vision and in our hearts as pure energy. Freedom and self responsibility, guided by cooperation and compassion. This is our credo. Our goal in simple terms is to be free of the increasing imposition and malice of those who have chosen, knowingly or unknowingly, to support the wrong side of that which is divine and kind, nurturing and heartful. We have stepped forward. We are humble. We are lions. We are here to serve, and we are here to love. Let it be so, and so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroom, and I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. Charlie's going to be speaking regarding the Supreme Court and Secretary of State's office, and that's important information. I hope that you folks can find time to visit our website, see what work Charlie's doing with those two in particular, yeoman effort. And anybody that wants to help or join us or likes to make phone calls and has the time to make it, has the time to write down who she talked to and what she said and carry forth the chain of uh, conversation so that anybody that picks up the document would be able to determine who is to be talked to or called next. There's a lot of people with those skills out there. They're called retired. They still know how to do everything. We need them to do some of that stuff for us. One of the things that one of the ladies did for us, it's a lovely story. Cheryl, she was hassling her health and winning, and she took over Marion County. So she followed up with the Marion County District Attorney's Office and said, "Hi, I'm Cheryl, Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I'm calling you about blah, blah, blah." And the lady that answered the phone at the DA's office said, "I open all the mail and we have not received that letter from you. I have no idea what you're talking about." So Cheryl knew that it had been sent properly by Universal Postal Union, and she knew that lawfully we had them. But she went down to the post office, spent $8, and sent the same documents over again. Return receipt requested on a green card. So then we waited 3 days, and I sent an email out to Jennifer, who is liaison for Paige Clarkson, the district attorney of Marion County. And I sent this email out saying, "I just found out that the documents we sent by Universal Postal Union weren't received by you folks, and we had to send again was certified return receipt requested. I just found out about that, and somebody's lying because the post office has guaranteed us under treaty that when they round stamp that document and put it in the mail, that is served. That is lawful service. And if you didn't get it and they promised that it was served, I'm going to call up the Inspector General from the U.S. Post Office and ask him to investigate this because somebody's lying. And I sent that email off to Jennifer and Paige. 20 minutes later, I get an email. No, I get a phone call. I got a phone call from Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Yeah, did you get my email? Yeah. Ron, we have all of your documents. You do not have to contact the Inspector General of the Post Office. That's an admission. One of the documents is a claim of cognizance for Richard L. Koenig. He is not in their jurisdiction, yet they have a warrant for his arrest on a bogus stalking order that they won't do away with, even when they have agreed that they have received a claim of cognizance and they have acquiesced to the claim of cognizance and they have no jurisdiction over Richard. They've executed all that they needed to do by doing nothing, and they lost the point, and they have the document, but they won't do away with the warrant, making Richard a fugitive. Well, you have to pursue the DA on that. Now, that particular DA, Paige, she's also the president of the Oregon District Attorneys Association, so she's not a lightweight. But she has some major issues, and she's not doing her job. And she's part of the de facto, and she took an oath to the wrong constitution. And all of that information is out now. And that's the kind of stuff we have to do and have to follow up on. Unfortunately, we lost Cheryl. Get well, Cheryl. But in any case, she did yeoman work and brought all that to fruition. You just have to do the work, take the next step. And if you haven't taken the next step to help us take more steps to bring all of us online, all of us up to the mark, all of us taking the next step, when we all get there, then you need to go look up Athens, Tennessee, 1947. Because when we're all towing the line and we're all on the last step, the next step is go to guns. And that's what they did in Athens. And that's what they did at Lexington and Concord. And that's what happens. If the totalitarian government, which is an incorporated governance of the state of Oregon, does not acquiesce and abandon their evil ways, then what are you going to do? That's the same outfit that Kate Brown was the appointed governor of and invited the feds, and they went up in eastern Oregon, and the FBI and the Oregon State Police murdered Robert Lavoy Finicum. They put a bullet in Ryan, and they tried them all, and they were found not guilty. And they tried them all again, and the judge dismissed it. But Robert Lavoy Finicum is still dead. And Kate Brown had the legislators pass a law saying that anybody in the Oregon State Police that was involved in that is exonerated. And they passed that law. That's retarded. You can't you can't do things like that. It just doesn't work. It's like 9/11. Everybody knows, and nobody will do anything about it because not enough people have towed the line. Not enough people have got to the last step. But it's coming. It's coming really quick. So join us in the de jure. Bring Oregon to a constitutional Republican form of government this year, 2022. We're going to have to work hard and fast. Do your best. Stay out of trouble. And I yield.
So this is a storyline that has gone on for quite some time. And in fact, prior to, but just about the early September of 2021, so almost a full year, we've been in the process of attempting to be acknowledged by the de facto with our numerous documents. And one of the thoughts that we had, because we had made an appeal to Martha Walters with the Supreme Court, Oregon Supreme Court, and there was no acknowledgement whatsoever. We created an interjurisdiction communique asking for them to self-correct. In Article 7, Article 3, I'm sorry, of the Oregon Constitution, the original versus the one they're using and have been for since 1910, the amended version. So we proceeded to, several of us, to go to get a notary signature because we notarize our own documents with our thumbprint and our signature in red, printing under our red signature in blue and dating it. So that's how we witness and how we notarize our documents, which are absolute. So we decided to go the de facto way. And interestingly enough, in the book, when you go to have something notarized, there is actually a place where you can do a red thumbprint. So most people don't know that, but we did that also while we did the actual notarization of our document. So this was an interjurisdiction communique that was sent to Martha Walters, Supreme Court, State of Oregon in Salem, from me, Deputy Clerk for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly Civilian Court of Record. So we were saying that we wanted them, their colleagues, her and her colleagues, to acquiesce to our court's notice and demand dated July 2nd, 2021. So it started back then. We notarized the document through a de facto notary on the 7th of September, 2021. We don't use their forms, we use our own form. So I created, based on the information they wanted, a form. And I got back this document. I don't know if you can see it, from the state of Oregon, which also, it's interesting, you'll find when you apply for any kind of information, you're sent to the corporation division. Well, that's our government. It's an incorporated government. So I got a notice back. It was actually a long thing. There was an incorrect address apparently, and it got lost between the departments. This is all during the COVID shutdown. And they said they check their mail and their emails periodically. And my first communique got, and this was sent with a letter and a $10, help me, Ron, it was a certificate. You're muted.
Money order.
Money order, thank you. So $10 money order accompanied this, and we asked for an apostille for them to authenticate our document. And what we got back was this letter. It's their form letter based on the information that I provided them. And they said on the 28th of September, we are unable to authenticate your document for the following reason. The Secretary of State authenticates documents for outside the United States. And that's capital United, capital States, the first letter of each. Capital U, NITED, capital S, TATES. And the second reason they said was apostille / authentications are not valid for use anywhere within the capital U, NITED, capital S, TATES of America, its territories or possessions. So they returned the $10 money order and said that if you have any questions, please call the office. And there have been phone calls between back and forth. So I proceeded to write, with Ron's assistance, a letter in objection to what they had denied. And I read you this. So I said, Dear Gloria Miller is the director of the Corporation Division, Notary Authentications at the Capitol Building in Salem. Dear Gloria, this is in response to your letter stating that you are unable to authenticate our documents. I find the reply to my document submitted on September 20th, 2021 for apostille to be in error for the following reasons. Number one, what they say is the Secretary of State authenticates documents from outside the United States. And I said, please refer to https://www.oregonlaws.org/ORS/79.0307, and then in parens 8. The United States, that's the capital U, United, and capital S, States, is located in the District of Columbia. Whether you represent the state of Oregon, the all caps state of Oregon, Oregon the state, none, or state of Oregon, District of Columbia. Whether you represent the state of Oregon, all caps state of Oregon, Oregon the state, none are located in Washington, District of Columbia. The second is apostille authentications are not valid for use anywhere within the United States of America, its territories or positions, to which I responded, we have the United States of America as named in the Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union. That is the creator of the Constitution and the United States. Within the United States of America appears to be a fiction that is without definition in our founding documents. We find that the de facto state of Oregon is a foreign state to the de jure. Quote, on Oregon without the all caps state of Oregon within the United States of America, the Constitution Republican form of government, is the last line of text on page 1 of the document I submitted for apostille. As both of your presumptions for denial have been rebutted, I now resubmit my document for reconsideration, given these facts, on October 6th, 2021. And I got an exact replica response from their form that said, we are unable to authenticate your document for the following reason. Same verbiage, same everything, with an enclosure of my $10 money order. So it was a total rejection of our efforts to be acknowledged or properly responded to. So no due process there. So then we proceeded to send a letter, actually a claim of cognizance from our de jure civilian court of record. We're in Article 3.1 Supreme Court, claiming original jurisdiction found in our Amendment 7 Common Law Court of Record without appeal in law. And we sent it to Martha Walters of the Article 7 amended Supreme Court, operating in the de facto law form, where Paige Clarkson is the district attorney for Marion County, or possibly the county of Marion, a subdivision of the state of Oregon, a subdivision of the all caps United States Inc., and an incorporated fiction. It's fraud. So the claim is Paige Clarkson received our claim of cognizance, and it goes on. So we had several signatures on this one as well. And we have yet to hear from any of them in response to our claims or any of our appeals for their apostille. So this leads us then to the trial that we had relative to our upcoming election. And I will note that in this Shemaiah Fagan, this was through supposedly Shemaiah Fagan's office that we were trying to get this apostille. She was also in the Senate, in Congress, I should say, when she was, we first held a trial and convicted all 90 legislators of not holding their honor due to their oath being sworn to the wrong constitution. So then we held our trial on the, I believe it was the 26th of June. Yep, the 26th of June. We held it on Zoom. And I just started out that trial with this quote from Thomas Paine, reader Thomas Paine. If to expose the fraud and imposition of monarchy, to promote universal peace, civilization, and commerce, and to break the chains of political superstition and raise degraded man to his proper rank, if these things be libelous, let the name of libeler be engraved on my tomb. So we feel that it's imperative that our court of record should be holding these legislators, politicians, representatives, and policymakers who are commandeering our government and really manufacturing and making up the things, the rules, the regulations, and all of the citations and laws, supposedly, that we're supposed to adhere to. So we feel it incumbent on us to address these issues, and we have an increasing growing number of members, assembly members, and jury pool members who are wanting to call attention to the corruption and to the pure evil that's being perpetrated and against the people. So we held this trial, and it was about election fraud. And this leads us to Shemaiah Fagan again, who okayed, and we did object to the current candidates who are running, who were Congress people. Those named were Tina Kotek, Christine Drazen, Betsy Johnson, and there's one other one. At any rate, anyone who was in Congress at the time that we convicted them all of supporting the wrong constitution, not upholding their oaths, and therefore not able to hold a position of trust. We see that they're now running for either reelection or another office, along with the judges, all of whom are incumbents in this upcoming election. And we're also allowed to run in this election by a convicted individual, that being Shemaiah Fagan. And all of those who are running for election have also been convicted. So by our court of record. So this also includes Ron Wyden, who's running for reelection, and Suzanne Bonamici. So they're also named in this jury decision. And in our eyes, they're criminals, and they have actually committed treason. So we went through the trial, which you can find on our website, orsja.org. And we are at a point now in our process, and we do a step-by-step process. And we're all also, I want to note, lawful, not legal. We don't practice law. We are the people who are wanting to practice and utilize Article 1, Section 1 in our Oregon Constitution. I want to read that right now. We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded in their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness, and they have at all times a right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. There are a lot of us out here who agree and are acting upon that right that we have to be recognized and responded to in a proper way by those who are representing us in the government, who they think or they say are representing us, but we don't feel that there is. When buildings are closed, people are not available. They're not working in the buildings that are public buildings. They're not available for us to answer questions, or if they are, there's a lot of obfuscation. So this is where we are at this point, and we're coming up to a jury. It's going to be a petite jury. We've already held grand juries on these issues, but on Sunday at 2 o'clock on a Zoom channel, we're going to be holding another petite jury trial, and that will involve 12 12 jury pool members and three backups just in case. And there will be many, many on the call who are also going to want to vote and weigh in on their opinion, whether they have their bona fides or not. That doesn't matter. The point is to have those voted, those who do vote from the jury pool, to have their bona fides in order, which we always check. And then anyone else who wants to weigh in on their vote, because we want that on the record, that there are a lot of Oregonians, men and women, who are not having the corruption that's going on and the obfuscation. So we hope you can join us on Sunday, 2 o'clock. And if you are interested, go to our website and you can inquire as to what the Zoom contact is. And we hope that you can make it. Those issues, by the way, for this petite trial are very major issues. The Oregon Health Authority and the medical community at large is responsible for some horrific requirements, I should say, that have destroyed people's businesses, people's lives, people's health, and it's ongoing. So we're holding these people accountable. We're having the petite jury trial, and we will convict these individuals so named and by the names they go by. And also we're having one on the education curriculum system on Oregon, which is, we know, derelict. It has both of these issues have tremendously adverse effects on our children. This is the foremost, greatest concern we have. And the third issue is the issue of the buildings that have been basically vacated. These are public buildings like the Oregon Archives, the State Capitol building, Oregon Health Authority. These are buildings that we're not able to really go into at all. They're supposedly closed for construction or not available to the public, but we can get records online digitally. The whole system has been shut down. So the third issue that we're conducting a trial on is the foreclosure or quiet title issue for these buildings. So there are 5 of them that were named. So I hope you can join us. The work we're doing is really, we feel, important. We feel that there's a lot of rising concern among the people for the injustices that are being done. We have people coming to us at all times, whether it's regarding abuses by the Children's Protective Services or the education system, where people are being refused to be allowed to work without a mask or without a vax. We've had several of those people who are frustrated about the situation, people whose businesses have been closed because they won't adhere to the mask or the vax mandates. So there's a lot of unrest and unhappiness, and we want this to be take these individuals, these persons in these positions of supposed authority, to look at what they're doing to the populace they supposedly represent and to self-correct. We are peaceful, lawful people asking for these individuals, these persons in these positions, to rethink and to correct. That is our goal. And our chief goal all in peace, all in lawfulness, is to return our state of Oregon to a Republican form of government, more to the direction of natural law, common law, where we take self-responsibility and our civic duty and our juries, and to go according to the original Constitution, not the amended version in the Oregon Constitution, Article 7. So I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for this opportunity to express the steps that we're taking and for the support you give us in signing and attending the events that we like to share what we're doing. So
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.